Hey, we are going to jump into this full body stretch. I don't know about you, but I'm in need of a nice, deep, juicy, full body stretch. Make sure that you're warm first. I just worked out, which is why I'm a bit sweaty right now, and I'm ready to cool down. So if you need something to do before this to warm yourself up, click up here or down below for my warm-ups. Do it real quick, it doesn't take long. When your muscles are warm, the stretches feel a lot better, I promise. Let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start reaching nice and big, taking a deep breath in, and then bending those knees down. Doing that again, just starting to open up the hips, bending those knees down. One more time, straightening up, and then bending down. I want you to stay down here this time. You can put your hands onto your knees, or you can drop all the way into your elbows if you're already feeling ready for that. I think I am. I'm just gonna hang out here for a moment. If you wanna very, very gently rock side to side, go right ahead. Don't do anything crazy. And then very slowly straighten up those knees and reach down toward the floor. Just hang here, feeling your upper body hanging really nice and heavy over those legs. Taking a deep breath in. And then as you exhale out, try and release even more tension in your upper body. And sink further down to the floor. One more deep inhale here. And then exhale down. If you are capable, go ahead and try and grab onto your ankles. If not, you can just grab somewhere on the back of your legs and try and pull yourself in closer to the floor, closer to your legs. Take a deep breath in. Then as you exhale, see if you can get maybe another centimeter closer. From there, you can let your hands drop back down. I want you to take a nice bend in your knees here. And then you also have the option to try and walk your hands through your legs. And we're gonna straighten our legs up, and I want you to try and keep your body down where it is, so it should be a little bit further than it was before. So my knees are straight, sinking into the floor. Let's do that one more time. Bend those knees. See if you can go a little bit further with those hands. And then straightening it up, keeping the body right where it was. All right. Kind of walk your hands back so they're in the center again. And we're gonna walk those feet back in close to our hands into a little fold. I'm gonna face the side so that it's easier. If you need to see me, you can stay exactly how you are. Just folding forward, feeling really nice and long through that spine. Letting gravity do the work to push you closer to the floor or closer to your legs. And then go ahead and try bending your left leg, keeping the right leg straight. You should feel a deeper stretch now in that right leg, in the hamstring, maybe the calf. Still making sure that you're breathing and relaxing those muscles. I'll go ahead and switch those legs. So bend the right and keep the left straight. Nice deep breath in. And then as you exhale, relax even more into the stretch. And then let's straighten both legs up. If you're close enough and you can, go ahead and grab onto the backs of your ankles and pull yourself down closer to your legs. From here, let's go ahead and walk our hands out a little bit, and you can walk your feet back if you'd like, depending on how much space you have, into a downward dog. So here in our downward dog, try bending your left leg and keeping the right leg straight. Stretching out that calf. And if you want to play with how far apart your hands are from your feet to see if that changes the way the stretch feels, go right ahead. Walk your feet in closer or further apart as you need. And then let's switch legs. So bend that right and keep the left straight. And from here, let's gently set our knees down onto the floor and come to a tabletop. My hands are right underneath my shoulders. I have a neutral spine. I want you to take your right arm and you're gonna thread it through underneath your left and stretch out that upper back. And with this one as well, you might need to do a little bit of adjustment of the placement of your hand or how you center your weight so that you actually get a stretch out of this. Don't just like lay here and not feel anything. Like, try and find the spot that actually gives you a stretch. One more breath here. And then come on up. We're gonna switch and do the same thing on the other side, threading our left arm through to the right. One more breath. And come back up to neutral tabletop position. Now we're gonna shoot our right leg forward. And I'm keeping my back knee still propped on the floor. So I'm like kind of in this half lunge position. And then when I do my next inhale, I'm gonna straighten that back leg up. So straighten my left leg out into a runner's lunge. So go ahead and do that now. Inhale and come up to a runner's lunge. Feeling lots of energy through the leg that's straight behind you. Squeezing your glute muscles to encourage more lengthening in the front of that hip. And if you'd like, you can bring your hands up to your front knee. Make sure you're breathing. And I'm gonna drop my hands all the way back down and I'm gonna turn out my front leg. From here, you can also drop it all the way down onto your elbows, which is what I'm gonna do. And then you can release that back leg again, back down to the floor. This one might be a bit painful for you, and I encourage you to really focus on your breath here. Try and think of inhaling through your belly and exhaling from your heart. Sometimes focusing on something else like our breath can take away the discomfort from the stretch and allow you to relax more. From here, I'm gonna pick up that back foot and I'm gonna stretch out the front of that hip by grabbing my back foot. Breathing is also just so important while you stretch to help relax those muscles. That's why I'm always reminding you, inhale, exhale, even though it seems like second nature. It should be. You should be breathing at least, but maybe you're not breathing deeply enough. All right, a couple more breaths here. And release it down. Now let's sit back onto that left leg, straightening out the right. And I'm halfway over. My spine is nice and long. I'm gonna try and walk my hands closer to my foot and bring my chest a little bit closer to the leg. Notice I said keep that spine long. You don't want to curve over. If you curve over, you're not going to get as deep of a stretch as you would like this with a flat back. Thinking nice and long. Now let's sit all the way back down to that left leg, keeping the right one straight. And I'm going to reach over even further now. This one, it might be a little bit more difficult to get that true flat back, but still try and keep yourself nice and long. Don't just immediately curve over your shoulders. Still relaxing though. Deep breaths. A few more moments here. Really sink into it. All right, let's slowly bring ourselves back up to a half lunge, back to tabletop. Let's just shoot back into child's pose for a moment. Let our bodies relax and recover for a couple of seconds. Deep breaths. Then come on back up to tabletop and bring your left leg forward into that kind of half lunge. Knee is still on the floor in the back. And in our next inhale, we're gonna straighten that leg up. So go ahead and straighten it out. Big deep breath. Keeping your right leg really long and strong. Pressing the hip forward. From here, you can bring your hand up to your knee for a little stability challenge, and maybe to encourage even more lengthening in that right hip. And then you can drop it down, turn out that front foot, and lower yourself down to your elbows. You can also drop your right knee, get even further towards the floor. Check on your breath. We're gonna hold here for a few more breaths, so try and focus on it. All right, we're gonna reach back and grab onto that right foot. Stretch out the hip. Okay, releasing that down. I just want to hold this forever. This feels so good on my hip. But alas, we cannot. So let's straighten out the left and feel nice and long, stretching out that hamstring. I'm walking my hands down, so I'm trying to get closer to my front leg. And then sitting all the way back on that right leg. A few more breaths here. Slowly come back up to our lunge in our tabletop. And then we're just gonna turn, press it down onto the floor. Let's start with, what should we do first? Our straddle? Let's do our straddle stretch. So opening your legs out to the side. We're gonna reach toward the diagonal, so the inside of our leg on the right. Keeping your knees facing up toward the sky, so making sure your legs stay rotated out. They don't start turning in. Let's see if you can go a tiny bit further on this next breath. Maybe even getting your head on the floor. Okay, let's go over to the other side now. On the left. Next breath, try and go a little deeper. Make sure that you keep both hips on the floor this entire time. And then come to the center and reach forward in the middle, as far forward as you can. Okay, let's slowly come up. Almost fell asleep in that position. Let's bring our legs together and just reach nice and long over those toes, straight forward, letting the back of your neck, your back relax. Bringing it back up, shake out those ankles, roll them out. Let's grab onto our head and pull it very, very gently over to the left. Thinking of your right shoulder pressing down into the floor, or just pressing down. It's not gonna go into the floor, but you know, encouraging length in the side of that neck, but not pulling it too hard. You never want to be aggressive. Your neck is very fragile. And let's do the other side. Pulling your ear down towards the other ear. Shoulder is reaching long. And relax. Do a little head roll here if you'd like. Maybe do it the other way. Okay, let's go ahead and rotate over and start getting into our splits. But first we're gonna do a pigeon pose. So I'm bringing my right leg in front of my body, bent in. Left leg goes straight behind. And I'm trying to get both hips closer to the floor. Make sure that your left leg, the one that's straight behind you, is straight and that it actually is behind you. Like I just had to check on mine because it wasn't straight behind me. And then from here, if you want to go all the way down to your elbows or perhaps even further down, and let your head rest on the floor in a sleeping pigeon, you can do that. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, see if you can just relax even more into the stretch. very slowly start to bring yourself up so we can switch those legs to your other pigeon. One leg straight, one leg bent. Make sure it's right behind you, and go down if you'd like. One more deep breath in this position. Exhale, relax all of your muscles. And let's come up. Let's go ahead and find our way into our splits. However you'd like to do that. I'm gonna bring my right leg in front first, and I'm gonna slowly slide into the split. If you're already there, you can reach forward over that leg. And then slowly bringing yourself up to switch however you'd like to the other side. Take one more breath here. And as you breathe out, close those legs in toward each other. Let's just take a little breather here. So roll down onto your back, bring both knees into your chest. Let that entire back sink into the floor. Hold on to your knees here and just gently draw some circles with the knees, kind of massaging the back into the floor, and then doing that same thing but the opposite direction, rolling out those knees, and try not to fall asleep like me. It's bright and early, I gotta wake up, I can't fall asleep. From here, bring your arms nice and long out beside you. Straighten out those legs, and then we're gonna just very slowly roll ourselves up using those core muscles to straighten up. And congratulations, you finished today's stretch, which was the last day of our little 7-day series. If you followed all along, great job. It was a fun week. I definitely stretched more this week than I did probably all of last month. I enjoyed it, and hopefully you did too, or even if you didn't do the whole week, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Let me know in the comments what other kinds of little series you maybe would want to see and how you like the stretch. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you're having a lovely day and week, and I hope to have you back for my next video. Bye!